Alright, hello. Finally getting around to doing this video for the 12th of December, 12/12. This is the date we're looking at. Okay, I want to start off by saying, where do I want to start actually? I'll tell you what I want to do. Before we get too crazy into this, let me just reference you back to the last video, okay, and somewhere here, yeah, there we go. I've got some comments left by Dennis Milkovic. Milkovic? I don't know. Anyway, I'll just call him Milkovic, assuming it's a him. But there's some really great comments from this guy, okay? Well worth going back to Madonna Kamala Hoover Dam 12/8 video and just looking at the comments here. There's also some more good comments from Sandra worth looking at as well. But, you know, just for instance, here's one. And he's really focusing in on this Madonna Friday the 13th, okay, which is coming up this Friday. And I've already done a video on Friday the 13th in September connecting back to Madonna. So there's probably some good references in that video as well. And I think I've talked about Friends and the Friday connection. I've talked about Black Friday and the connection to Madonna. And of course, this Friday the 13th is Taylor Swift's birthday, and obviously she's been coined as the next Madonna, and so we've got that connection as well, of like passing the torch over to the next Madonna, the end of one and the beginning of another. But the date that I really want to look at is the 12th. Okay, that's really what I'm looking at here. But of course, it connects into the 13th, and it wouldn't surprise me if it was to happen on the 12th. It's probably likely to happen in the midnight hour. I could just imagine she's driving somewhere across a train track or something, and the train hits her. I could just that's the kind of story it's going to be. Something to do with a train, probably, because all the connections to the train with Madonna. So anyway, for instance, here, let's look at this comment here from Milkovic. The last day of Herbert Hoover's presidency was 3/4/33. That's 1,101 months, 9 days, or 33521 days. And that number there happens to be the 3,588th prime. So that's really interesting. That's the 3,588th prime number. And so what is interesting about that is that the Hoover Dam is 88 years old, basically, and it was, the birthday, so to speak, was in 1935. So we've got that 3588 connection. Herbert Hoover, HH88. So yeah, he's got some really good comments, right? So just go check that out, because I can't go through everything that he's put in here right now. Okay, so, and a big thank you to Dennis Milkovic. Okay, now cracking on. Why am I looking at this 12/12? I'm gonna tell you why I'm looking at the 12/12, because it's a personal reference for me. It's that simple. All right, it's my wedding anniversary, if you must know. So obviously there's a connection with Madonna and Billy Idol in White Wedding, okay, the song, and obviously 12/12 being my wedding date gives me, this is just a personal reference for me, right? I'll tell you what else is a personal reference for me is, and we're going to go to it in just a second, but there's a number jump here. Okay, this is very close to a personal reference for me here, and what this number comes out of pi. Okay, so what I'm showing you is Madonna's birthday through to the 9th of April this year, which is the day after the eclipse, okay, of 4/8. Now, Madonna has a ton of references to 4/8. She has a ton of references to 4/9, especially with Guy Ritchie. And all will become apparent with this decode in a minute as to why this is so important. But what is really important is these numbers show up in the numbers of actual pi. Okay, it's just I thought I had these in here. Here we are, the first 100 digits, and I've highlighted here where they show up. Okay, 2, 3, 9, 7, 9. We're just reading them in reverse there, and it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's starting on the 13th number of pi there, and obviously pi with the 3-1 at the start of it. Yeah, like I think Herbert Hoover's the 31st president, So this is all, the 13, obviously, Milkovic going on about the 13th there. Taylor Swift's lucky number 13. He mentions that Madonna's somewhat says that her lucky number is the number 13. I haven't come across that reference. I did come across a clip of her mentioning the lucky number 13, but I didn't come across it as her particular lucky number, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was. But yeah, the number 13, obviously connections with the moon, for sure. Okay. So does 33, or I was mentioning 33, but so anyway, so we're starting off from here with Madonna, going back to pi, some interesting numbers in pi, the 13th number of pi here starting this number sequence, and it's taken us to 4/9, and let me remind you, in the center of the okay, if you've not seen my channel before, this is not going to make any sense, but for those that you can be bothered to watch some of these back decodes, okay, I'll invite you just to go back now and check out a chart called the Queen's Cross. Okay, it'll be in there somewhere, or it'll be in one of the last few videos. I'm not going to go to it right this second, but we might pop back to it. But what was I going to say, 8449 or 9448 is the center of that table. Okay, so basically 44 is really the center of the table. So anything with 4849 is to do with the center of that thing. Those numbers are actually made up of what I call the pi cycle numbers. Okay, so this is why it makes this super interesting with the real numbers of real pi and the numbers that I call the pi cycle, because this is one of these center numbers here, and so is 48. So 4849 is, for me, eclipse and center numbers of that table, eclipse numbers as well. Anyway, cutting quite a long story short, we're going to look at some number jumps that involve 4/8, 13. We're going to do some stuff with Billy Idol, but this was important to re-reference back to this thing with pi as well, because 4849 are to do with pi as well. Okay, the pi cycle. So where are we going to go with this? I think we'll go back to this here, and I'll show you the stuff with Billy Idol first. Now, if you recall, back in September probably I was doing this, right around the 30th of September, which is the Hoover Dam's birthday. I was looking at palindromic numbers with Billy Idol and Madonna, because these two are, they're connected. The white wedding thing. If you've ever seen the video of Billy Idol's white wedding, there is a character in there that looks just like, doesn't look just like Madonna, but I think it's supposed to be Madonna from the music video Who's That Girl. Anyway, I'm not going to go into it right now. So this is connection with white wedding, those two being joined. Okay, the mother and the son, that kind of idea, or the man and Adam and Eve, man and his wife. Okay, but anyway, there's two palindromic numbers which are right here. This one right here, which is for Billy Idol, which is 25152 days from his birthday through to 1010. Okay, and Madonna has a similar palindromic number from her birthday through to the 20th of September this year. So it's 24142. Now these two sets of numbers are numerology that is in Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Okay, so this is very interesting with like the mother and the son idea. Okay, with the Mary and Christ. Okay, now those two dates, 1010 and 920, the midpoint for those two dates is the birthday of the Hoover Dam. Okay, that's why I got this little triangle here. It's the balance point between these two dates. It's the mirror between them. And so what you can do is you can put in, a different number. The number that takes you there for Billy Idol, that takes you to this date for Billy Idol, is 25142, and then the date that takes you to the Hoover Dam for Madonna here is 24152. Yeah, so sorry, so for Billy Idol it's 25142, and for Madonna it's 24152. Anyway, if you look at these numbers, they're mirrors. This is like a mirror line here, okay, and they're mirrors of one another. Okay, so that's a mirror of that. Right. So the whole palindromic thing is very interesting with Billy Idol and Madonna. Okay. Anyway, I was looking at this date for 12/12. Okay, for Madonna here with 12/12, and it's 24,225 days. And I thought, you know what? I'll tell you what, it'd be interesting to see. Let's just see from Billy Idol's birthday how many days it is to 12/12. See if it's a reverse of that. And it wasn't. Cut a long story short again. But I was like, you know what? I'll just tack on a few days to see when it does. When something looks interesting. Anyway, I did tack on a few days. And I ended up getting to this date here, this number jump here, which is, if you notice these two number jumps, all that's happened here is the 5 and the 4 have switched in these two numbers. And then what we've ended up with is coming out on the 21st for Billy Idol, which is, it's not a perfect reflection, but it's the same numbers, So I thought that was pretty interesting. So anyway, I'm still kind of hooked on this date for Madonna, and now it ties in with Billy Idol quite nicely with this actual palindromic 12/21 here. The midpoint happens to be between those two is the 16th or 17th of December. So that's obviously another potential date. Obviously, the 21st is a potential date. I'll tell you what's nice about this number, it's reflecting with as well, kind of reflecting with, is we've got this, the 122 with these numbers here, that is Die Another Day. Okay, the Die Another Day connection and the train connection with 122. By the way, I did find something interesting about the train. I got it up here. While I'm thinking about it, let's just tell you it. Oh, bloody, where is it? Come on. We'll get on to all that in a minute. I've got so much to get through. Well, darn it. Here we are. First train. Check this out. The first steam-powered train was built by British inventor Richard whatever, and debuted on February the 21st, 221. And look at the number there as well. We've got the 1804. Okay, which is numerology. It's Pluto numbers. Okay, so that was interesting. I thought I'd better mention that sometime. Anyway, what I want to do now actually is I want to do some of these other number jumps that tie back to this 4/8, right? So the first thing I need to do is I need to show you. Okay, what's this one? Okay, let's show you this as well while I'm here. So it's from Madonna's birthday through to 12/12. We just had this up, but it's 66 years. We've got to look at the variation here. 118 days. Okay, it's 66 years, 3 months, 26 days. I was just watching a 7711 video about 326. But anyway, the 118. Now this is fascinating with Madonna, because her son Rocco, who she had with Guy Ritchie, supposed birthday is the 11th of August, which connects back a little bit with Herbert Hoover, who's on the 10th of August, and also what's her face? What is her face? Rosanna Arquette, who is essentially the twin of Madonna in Desperately Seeking Susan, and they both wear the Eye of Providence dollar bill jacket in that thing, so they both share that connection there. And so that's the day before, on the 10th, which is again interesting with the idea of death and rebirth. Okay, but anyway, son's birthday, okay, is this date essentially, and we're looking at 118 days from her birthday. Now what's fascinating here is, see if I got it up here. No, we don't want that one yet. We'll do that one in a minute. Oh yeah, well, let's just do it while I'm here. From the birth of the Hoover, this is going to distract me now. From the birth of the Hoover Dam, in terms of the federal takeover in 3136 through to 1212, we got 88 years, 286 days. But what's interesting is it's 9 months, 11 days as well. And of course, Milkovic also mentioned that it's 119 days from Madonna's birthday through to the 13th as well. So that's also interesting. But this is what I wanted to show you. Let's get onto this. What we need to really be is right here. And I thought I had another tab up with that on there, but maybe I do not. Oh no, they're down here. What have I got down here? Okay, this is what I want to show you first. I wanted to show you through the two, and of course 4/8 is well interesting with Pluto. Let's not forget the 4/8, 248 years, and the 1.48 day difference in the year length as well from Pluto to Earth, and again the 248 year cycle. Okay, and there's also a 247 year cycle, which happens to tie back into the Queen, which I'm going to show you in a minute why that ties back to this date as well. Okay. Anyway, 4/8 through to 8/4. Okay, these are the only two dates in the year that are going to do this, unless you start looking at actual days of the year, or you want to do, interestingly enough, again, you want to go October, change it to 8 for Oct, and the 4th, which again, back to the future clock tower number. But we're not doing that. We are looking at 4/8 through to 8/4. It's 118 days. 118. Okay. Okay, so hopefully you got that. But let's look now. Let's go ahead and look at what it is through from. Let's look at one of these 8/4 jumps. So this is August the 4th through to 12/12 now. It's 130 days. Notice the 4/8 in there again with 4 months, 8 days. Notice the 184 with the weeks and days. 130 days. Okay, so we've got that 13 reference again. Pretty nice. Let's look at, did that one, it's right here, isn't it? No, that's the next one we're going to do. Let's look at actually from the eclipse date now through to Madonna's birthday. Again, it's 130 days. Okay, so we've got this 130 days again. So we've got like this double, from 4/8, we're going to the birthday, and maybe from 8/4 we're going to the death date, maybe 12/12, 130 days again. Okay. Now, what did I have here? Now I want to explain this. So from 4/9 to 12/12 is 247 days. Now this is 247 years, is also a Pluto cycle. There's 2 Pluto cycles. One relates to the Queen Elizabeth II, and one relates to Donald Trump in terms of starting at the beginning of the United States of America, which is, the beginning of America, a certain Mary, and that's what we're dealing with here with Madonna. She is another Mary. Okay, so 247, you know where this shows up, don't you? This shows up on the tunnel. The tunnel represents what? Going into the eclipse. 4/9. And if we drop a day to the actual eclipse, okay, it's 248. The years of the Pluto cycle again. But if we add on the day and we come out to this number that sort of relates back to Madonna a little bit more, we'll come on to it in just a second with Guy Ritchie. So there's 4/9. This 247 is on the tunnel in that scene in Goldeneye with the train and the tank that connects back. It connects back to Madonna. There's a double reference to Madonna in that scene. There's a reference to Matthew Perry in that scene. And, 247, I'm pretty sure, is on the bridge. The tunnel, start of that tunnel. So that's the idea of the eclipse again. Okay, going into the tunnel. Or dying. Going into the long dark tunnel. So anyway, that's the decode for Goldeneye there. And it works out, pretty good. What else was there? I think what I want to do is let's tie this now back to the Guy Ritchie film Snatch, okay? Because when she was married to Guy Ritchie, I think he did that film Snatch, and obviously the snatch refers to the vagina. It's a crude term for the vagina, and the whole thing's about a diamond heist, the Diana Moon. And so there's a ton of 4/9s in that film. Okay. The pub, the Old Trout, is got 4/9 on the door, or above the door. I think Frankie Four Fingers, I think his van's got 4/9 on it. But the most important 4/9, and I'm going to tie this back now to Notre Dame. Okay. And we could actually, just before I tie it, let's tie it in first, and then you'll know we'll backtrack. So what we want to do is we want to go to the actress who plays Brad Pitt's mother, okay, in the film. Now, she dies in a fire. Her caravan is set on fire, right? Just like Notre Dame burned, okay? She's the mother. She's supposed to represent Mary in the film, okay? And Brad Pitt is Christ, okay? Her birthday in real life is April the 9th, okay? I'm not going to try and say that name. I don't know what the correct pronunciation of that is. And to double it up, she's born in 49, okay? So this is super duper important, okay? The 4/9 here, okay, with Brad Pitt's mother. Now, what is Brad Pitt in the film? Who is Brad Pitt in the film? He is an Irish gypsy, okay, a pikey, and so what is he like? He's like, I don't have it up here. Hang on a minute. Let's see if we can find the Fighting Irish. Let's see. Let's click to this a minute, and let's see. This is Brad Pitt in the film. He's the fighting Irish, you know. She's the mother that gets burned. Notre Dame, the temple that is burned down. And Brad Pitt is the fighting Irish. University of Notre Dame. Okay? You just can't write this stuff, I'm telling you. It's absolutely mental. Anyway, if we look at the date that it's established, look at this, November the 26th. That just happens to be the 331st day of the year. 331 was Easter this year. Wow, okay. I mean, it's all coming together now, you know. Look at the coordinates here. 8614. You've got Madonna's birthday in there, 861, and you've got Trump's birthday in there, 614. Yeah, with the degrees and the minutes there. Mental. You know, I mean, you could probably pick a lot more stuff out of here. Hang on a minute. Where's the founder dude? Okay, founder. Edward Soren. Okay. Let's just have a look at the birthday. Oh, lo and behold, we've got the 131 in the numerology, October the 31st for the death date. 26. Yeah, Madonna, she's got a ton of 26s in her gematria. Train. 2662. You just can't write it, I'm telling you. Anyway, so, you know, that's it, basically. You know, this film of Guy Ritchie's, he's the fighting Irish. It's a reference to Notre Dame. The trailer gets burnt. That's Notre Dame burning. And we've just had this whole, you know, rebirth thing with Notre Dame here on the 8th. Yeah, it's just absolutely mental. Look, I just come across this as well. Founders of McDonald's. Yeah, and obviously McDonald connection to Donald Trump, or you know, Madonna, McDonald's, McDonough. 216. This is one of the dudes, Richard. July the 14th. Oh, gosh. But check this out. We got the November the 26th again. Yeah, 331 again. And look at this. December the 11th. Right now, December the 11th still just about. Got a couple of more minutes before the 12th. Oh, it's just mental, you know. You know. Why am I talking about McDonald's? Well, let me show you. The founding of McDonald's. Let's look at the founding of the corporate version of McDonald's. April the 15th. When did Notre Dame burn? Hang on a minute. I got it up here somewhere, I'm sure. I was looking at it. Ah, blimey now. Where is it? Well, I'm sure it was the 15th of GoldenEye. Still got some stuff up from the other day. I don't know what I've done with it. I must have deleted it. Have I gone past it? First train. We don't need that anymore. That's right there, Dan. You've gone over it like 3 or 4 times, dude. Yeah? McDonald's. I wonder why Donald Trump went to McDonald's. What else have I got for this? What's this number jump here? Oh, I went from Rocco's birthday through to 1212, and we've got the good old 123. Yeah, the restart. Oh dear. If I was Madonna, I wouldn't be getting on any trains tomorrow. You know. It's probably the train that's going to take her to the island, if anything. You know. What else have I got? Have I covered everything? What have I forgotten? Was there something in Die Another Day? No, it was just that fact that we got the 1-2. Look at the release dates here for the film. We got the 1-2-2. I mean the 1-1-2-2, the 1-1-2, and I suppose I've got her release date for her thing. But anyway, I'm sure it was the It's the 22nd of. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's the 25th her release. I can't remember what it was now on her actual. We've got the link through to it here. Let's put it down the bottom. Production. I'm surprised they're not mentioning it. Here we are. Here it is. Okay, there's the October the 22nd. The 122 again. Die Another Day. Another version of 122. 1212. And then, of course, I guess while we're here, I want to just show you just two more things, right? Let me show you. Hang on. Let's go to this. Let me get you those two tables up so that people that haven't seen the videos before that might be new can have a look at them. First one, let's go to the Queen's Cross one, which is the one I was saying had all the 844. I don't need to say that. So this is the table. It's made up of Fibonacci, Lucas, and what I call the pi cycle. The middle of the table is right here. The 4 4s at the center. But you know, the numbers that we're looking at really here, with the 9 4 and 4 8 being sort of mirrors of one another, if you like. So they're essentially, you know, if we're talking about the eclipse on 4 8, you know, a 9 4 would reference it. You know, so that I wanted to show you that so you knew what I was talking about this 9 4 and the importance of it being at the center of this chart. Okay, it's sort of a balancing thing. Okay. Again, the actual numbers of pi I've got written across the bottom of here, and we can see that this 2 3 9 7, this number here, okay, is our, you know, another number that connects us back with Madonna. Pretty good. Okay. Anyway, we'll get off of this one. Let's go to this other one so I can show you something else that's pretty. Don't save. Okay. This again is Fibonacci, Lucas, and pi numbers in here, and I've got another row that I call phi. But don't worry about that right now. Notice that at the center of this thing, the 118 or 1118, you know, 1118. Okay, that's important. Notice 123 as a completion, and you know, because it's in the 10th thingy majig here. Notice the start of this thing, 21 3. Notice that the Hoover Dam on 9:30. If we take 9:30 and convert it over to 24-hour clock, 21:30, 213, the start of this cycle. Yeah. What else I got to show you? Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Notice the 521, that was connected in with Billy Idol there. It's in the 13th column here. Yeah. Notice that this 12 or 21. Notice this 322 that's coming to this point. Okay, if we use this like a times table. Note that the total up to this point here is 842. Okay, from the eclipse through to that date, 12/12. Yeah, so this is well important. Okay. Let me show you this other chart though, because this is going to be important as well, and then we'll call it a day. This 4 row isn't normally in here. Okay, that's why it's scribbled in purple. But if you'll notice that 118 shows up in this, you know, in this number line, okay, and you get a new set of totals down here, which is actually interesting because in your new set of totals, right at the start of that is Trump's birthday. Okay, and if we cross-reference now this 118, yeah, because it's kind of similar to this, so it would be interesting to see what it cross-referenced with. It actually cross-references with 4 and 9, 49 cross-references to this 118 here. So that's another important thing to note. Also note that coming up 2 days after what do I want to say? You know, if Madonna was going to croak on the 12th, you know, we've got the 13th, the handover to Taylor Swift, and then the 14th is the death of the Alpha George Washington, who's on the dollar bill. Obviously, there's a ton of references to George Washington and the idea of the Hoover Dam, not to mention just the George Washington fold on the dollar bill, which, by the way, the George Washington fold where he pops up out of the dollar bill is a reference to the date 4/9. Okay, well, important again. Okay, but you know, here we go. We've got you know, this would be a 3-day inclusive, you know, tie-in here. Okay, and you'd have his death date kind of tied into it, you know, with on the 12th, and 12/14 is 3 days inclusive later, just like we're talking about Easter. Okay, you know, the 3 days inclusive resurrection, which is important because obviously Easter is a reference to the idea of the eclipse. Okay, with the symbolism involved in that thing. I'm going to leave it there. Okay, you can even see, look, right here, 12/41. Yeah, 11th column, tying in with this 14 here. Okay, super duper important, all this stuff, I guess. I'm going to leave it there. I don't think I've missed anything out of here this time. The Fighting Irish, the link to Notre Dame. The Notre Dame over here, linking back with Snatch. You know, he is the Fighting Irish. old Brad Pitt. Okay. Let's just do, hang on a minute. What is Brad Pitt? Dude. December the 18th. Okay. December the 18th. That is kind of interesting with that last with the 128 reference there with with Notre Dame again. Okay. Oh dear. Alright, I gotta leave it there. Be going around in circles all night. Alright, thanks for watching. Oh, we've got 4 minutes getting it done just before, but it'll take forever to upload this because it's probably pretty long. Alright, thanks for watching though, and I will catch on another one soon. Alright, cheers, bye.